Alright, yo, what's up, everyone? So, this might be a little short because I'm gonna film a video that I've been kind of thinking about what I want to say for, you know, majority of the day. And, there's a lot of things I want to talk about in this video. Oh my gosh, Kirk, you are fast, bro. You are fast. It's short because the video I'm gonna make is gonna be. I'm gonna still do a market recap. That's why I'm doing this. But the video, it's gonna be covering a lot of things I've been thinking about throughout the day. A lot of things I want to get off my mind, and um, honestly, I think it's gonna be a pretty beneficial video in general. So um, it's not that I don't want to backtest. I do. I want to film this video. I'm gonna go outside and do it again, and yeah, you're gonna have to wait to see in the video what I talk about. But oh, sorry, there was something on my screen. So, but because you guys obviously saw earlier this morning, how I traded. I traded terrible, traded so bad, and it's just it's time for some reflection. It's time to probably just have a really meaningful video that's gonna come out later. So, but I have a lot of things I want to talk about, and yeah, but real quick, I do want to do a backtesting session because I want to understand price action for the day, so that way I can at least talk about it a little bit when I do film that video. So, yeah, Kirk, you are fast, bro. I don't know how you do it. It's impressive. It's very, very impressive. But anyway, let's go ahead and start taking notes and look at what happened. So, like I said, if you guys are just now joining, this is shorter because patience by young Jedi. Oh, you're so nice, Kirk. But like I said, guys, the reason it's gonna be shorter is just because I'm gonna film a little bit more meaningful video, and so I want to have time to film that. So, yeah, let's look at what happened. So, this is tricky. This is very tricky, right? Look at this. It looked, it was very high resistance, right? Very high resistance, and like right here, it even looks like maybe we broke it, but we didn't, right? So the market was being very tricky today. I believe this is what I do for high resistance. Yeah, it's not that. Do I usually do dashed, or I can't even remember. I actually think I do dashed. Usually do dashed for high resistance and then dotted for low resistance. So, yeah, right? High resist, or maybe I can't remember if I do dashed or dotted double sized. I don't think it matters, honestly. They kind of look the same. So yeah, today, right? It looked like we were gonna go higher, but this was a high resistance liquidity curve. We ended up rejecting this gap, and so we can use this high resistance liquidity curve as a confluence to be bearish, because right now it was high resistance and we took out most of the liquidity. So remember, everyone else is trying to long this, thinking we're going to go up there. We kind of see this as high resistance, not clear yet, we're going to go run it. We take this gap, we fade everyone else, right? Not easy to do in live time, but it's something we can do, right? 15-minute for value gap, high resistance liquidity all through here. And guys, I do still want to do some coding live streams where I get better at PineScript, and then as well, I want to do some maybe just some chill live streams, like some chess live streams where I just chill and talk to you guys, or like just chill, or maybe IRL live streams. I don't know. Yeah, we rejected this 15-minute fair value gap. We, wow, what was that? We see, this is key, right? This is key. The midnight open is key, guys. How are you gonna know whether the market, whether it's high resistance or low resistance liquidity? How do you know? You have to pay attention to the true opens, and it's crazy because like most people will never tell you that, but the true open basically says when we take out the true open, it basically switches the opposing liquidity to be low resistance. So once again, this was high resistance, right? When we take out this true open, now all of this liquidity is now no longer high resistance. All this is low resistance. Cool little note there, right? The true open switched this liquidity pool from high resistance to low resistance, right? This was once high resistance. Bang, we take out midnight. Okay, now it's low resistance. Makes sense. Pay attention to the true open because it's basically going to reverse price and it's going to make old high resistance liquidity become low resistance. How did you do today? Bro, awful, terrible, so bad. It was honestly kind of embarrassing, and I'm going to have a video. It's a little bit more meaningful. It's going to come out later today, and I'm going to honestly, talk about kind of just a great reset that I'm going to go on, where not necessarily a reset because obviously I've been trying my best this whole time. It's not like I haven't. Obviously, I've been trying my best. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save it for the video, but it's going to be a little bit more meaningful of a video today. And it's not necessarily like a reset in the sense I'm like resetting, but it's changing and trying to change the perspective of the way we look at trading, kind of. So anyway, this right here, nah, bro, it wasn't even like good losses is the thing. It was just me, when you get in a bad mindset and you're just kind of like, I feel like I've been in this bad mindset for a while and I think I just need a reset. So yeah. Okay, so we're taking note here. So basically, right, this was once high resistance liquidity. When midnight gets taken, it becomes LRLR, right? Most people will not tell you that. It's a very subtle little fact, but right, midnight gets taken, eyes return back to the opposing liquidity, and we say, okay, is this now going to be low resistance? Yes, it does. Yes, it did, right? So put that in your notes, guys, that liquidity pools basically switch when we take out true opens. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. Good observation. We took out midnight at 8:50 a.m. So this was on Tuesday. So midnight or true opens turn old high resistance liquidity into low resistance liquidity. Don't believe me, guys? Don't believe me? Look at this. Same thing from yesterday, right? This was high resistance. All this liquidity was high resistance, right? We were clearly rejecting this as support, right? The market was rejecting it, high resistance. Then pull up above midnight. We actually pull up above the true week open and above 130 as well. So it was like a triple true open sweep. Now this ain't high resistance no more because we took out all those true opens. So now this is all of a sudden low resistance and we deliver aggressively through that. All right, so let's look more at price action in the morning. We had 1 minute change in state. I'm trying to find an obvious one. I'm not seeing an obvious one necessarily. Yeah, and there's no obvious 1 minute change of state out of this 15-minute gap. Suspension block, sick, bro. I can't wait to learn it. That's actually so hype. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, man. I'm not seeing an obvious change of state delivery. I think it'd be forced if I did try and take one. But it would be good to know that we had that for bias. But once we sweep out midnight, honestly, I'd be looking for shorts at that point because we rejected midnight into high resistance liquidity. Makes sense. If I see this happen live now, then again, ironically, I did see this happen, and I was just blind and stupid. What about doing one setup type only for 100 live stream, no other setup allowed, backtest all the others, but keep the lives Simon simple? What I think is, it should be more like I can take different kinds of setups, but I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. I get what you're saying. I think it's like the main thing is when I take the setup, it needs to be, you know, quality. The main thing is it needs to be quality. No, why are you saying no? Hear me out, bro. I don't think it's bad to take different kinds of setups as long as it's a quality setup, right? It's a quality setup according to what I've backtested. The issue lately hasn't been that. And I think the main thing is I want to just make sure it's quality. So I want to basically, when I take my real trade, I want it to be very obvious, very transparent. Like, hey guys, this is my real trade. Because Kurt, here's the thing, Kurt, hear me out, bro. This is why I have this opinion, right? The market's moving to AMD, right? That is my edge. Past that, I don't care if it's changing state. I don't care if it's inversion for VIA gap. All that other stuff, whether it's a 2022 gap, it's all AMD, bro. And so all this noise where I have to trade a specific one of those, that doesn't make any sense. Like even Phoenix model, right? But the issue comes for me like quality over quantity. It's very easy for me to take something that's not quality. I don't think it needs to be a specific kind of setup, but I do think that needs to be quality, if that makes sense. And I think the video I'm going to talk about, that I'm going to make later, is going to cover this stuff, so I don't want to get too into it, but basically, I'm going to be going into the market in these next weeks and months with a new perspective. I'm going to talk about it in the video. So, oh yeah, I was going to mark out how basically when we take out midnight into this high resistance liquidity, when this happens, especially when we get this CRT, by the way, but when we take out midnight into this high resistance liquidity, our bias and get CRT, our bias bearish. Makes sense. Why should our bias turn bearish? Because it's very obvious now when we sweep midnight into a high resistance liquidity curve and we get a CRT high swept and then close lower, we're going to likely draw to the CRT low, and then as well, since this is low resistance liquidity, not just the CRT low, but all of those lows, right? And so with that in mind, you definitely could have taken this as a trade. You definitely could have. And there was probably Genesis model as well. But once again, when we take out midnight into high resistance liquidity, get 15-minute CRT, we got to make sure we are aware of what's going on. Like, we got to have midnight on our chart. But this is a very simple concept. And so 15-minute CRT into midnight, we target CRT low. Makes sense? Here, let's actually draw out the CRT. Right? Here's that CRT high. We sweep out the high into midnight. And then we deliver to the low. Right? You see how many points are within this leg? Quite a lot. And then if you include the low resistance liquidity at the bottom, oh wow, now you're talking real a lot of points here, right? So CRT low right there. But yeah, let's go ahead and screenshot this whole idea, right? And then we can go in the lower time frame, find an actual opportunity. But nice little CRT here at 8:45. At 8:45. Oh, whoops! Gotta name it different. So anyway, yeah. So as we know, right, when we get the CRT, anything above the close of that manipulation candle, that's going to be sniper entry, right? Anything above that close is a sniper entry. And actually, you can see that's actually, ironically, that's a, let's see, where does it close? So you would kind of have to be quick with it. Oh wow, you would have to be so quick with it, because 9 opens. Wow, you probably have like 1 second. The market gives you 1 second to get that entry. But yeah, liquidity sweep of all of these highs. Here, let's mark this out as a sweep, right? Liquidity sweep, break of this low, and then for value gap, once again proving this idea that we actually don't, with the 2022 model, we actually don't have to come to equilibrium and it'll still be nice, right? This is something new that I've slowly realized over time from my personal back testing, is we don't really need to come to equilibrium with 2022. It can still work. Look at this. Sweep, break of this low. We have a 2022 gap right here. Note the vulture imbalance right there, the vulture gap that we talk about all the time, like me and Kirk, right? Where you have a volume imbalance above a 2022 gap. So there's that. And then observe how little drawdown we actually have here, right? We almost have no drawdown at all. What model you trade currently? I trade in line with AMD, and any entry alongside to get on side with AMD is valid in my book, and according to my back testing. That's what I do. But yeah, midnight, we sweep midnight, liquidity sweep, break a structure. Once again, personally, with 2022, I do not think you have to see equilibrium to get hit. That's just what I have seen according to my back testing. Note the vulture imbalance, right? We talked about this where, we have anytime you have a volume balance above a 2022 gap, I consider that very, very sensitive. Kirk and I named this the vulture model, where you enter at the volume imbalance and you almost have no drawdown. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy how sensitive this is. Vulture imbalance. And I could maybe stop, probably like here. And then we could target the CRT low. That'd be crazy. Not saying that's what we'd have to do, but I'm just showing what's possible in these markets, right? But I'm not trying to say that's what we should have done, because it'd be hard. It'd be very hard. So let's go ahead and save this. And once again, guys, that was a Genesis model, because what is that? What is Genesis? It's basically trading candle 3 of the CRT. When the manipulation candle of the CRT closes, look for your entry above the close of the manipulation candle within candle 3 of CRT. And that's essentially what this was. So 8:59 2022 model. on the 1 minute. Let's go ahead and save that. And yeah, guys, with that, let's keep looking at price, right? We ended up kind of having another 2022 gap, right? We obviously broke out this low again. Still bias was bearish. A lot of people probably, I took this stupidly, right? But I was offside. And I'm actually, like I said, I traded horrendously today because the main thing, like I always say, that it's all up to basically, this is what I'm going to talk about in the video. It's like so much of trading is just, is your mindset in the right place? Like, I feel like this morning I was not in a good mindset, in a good place to trade. And I'm gonna talk about more in the video. I'm not gonna talk about a lot here, but basically, I'm going into these next months with a complete reset. And I'm gonna make a video about this, where basically, guys, I don't want to talk about it too much, but the main idea is, I gotta let go of the stress. I gotta let go of trying to control things I can't control, like things like, like wanting an outcome when all I control is the inputs. And I'm gonna go over it more, but we're just gonna keep back testing for now. So, yeah, we had a 5-minute fair value gap here. Obviously, we used this. So, as I always say, everyone else complaining, oh, price action sucked today. Wow, price action's been bad since 2024. Bro, the market's always right. The market's always right. Stop complaining. The market's always right. And if you don't think so, that's stupid, because how else could the market, how could it not be the case that the market's always right? Because the best traders in the world are going to have the most money. You know what I mean? It's just obvious. Okay, so we ended up getting SMT here. This is a very, very interesting example of our 90-minute true open. This is crazy, actually, guys. This is really cool. Check this out. We have a 922 90-minute true open, meaning 22-minute 90-minute cycle, 22-minute quarters. Check this out. 922 90-minute true open. So this is 922. This is where our eyes go for the true open for the 90-minute cycle. Check this out. So this is Q1. Yeah, so this is Q1. This is the high of Q1, which is at 9 o'clock. This is the high of Q2, which is 9:30. Oh my gosh. Just beautiful, bro. Just beautiful. We gotta appreciate that. 22-minute S&T above the true open, and then we aggressively expand lower. What a beautiful sight. What a beautiful sight, guys. And if you really don't think quarterly theory is true, then okay, that's fine. Because guess what? I'm gonna be trading it, right? Obviously, it's true. Everything, quarterly theories, time, Goldbach's price. It's very obvious. If you disagree, then I'm not here to convince you, bro. I'm not here to convince you. It's just very obvious. So there's that true open. Let's also look where 930 was. Or no, not 930, 730. So we were very much above 730. So this is kind of cool to me, right? And then this rejection block as well. So nice little 22-minute cycle here. I mean 90-minute cycle. I get it confused, but so with that, we could take this 30-second change in state, except there's not one, huh? I guess, psych, there's not a 30-second change in state off of it. 22-minute SMT. Above 20, above true open. Okay, and then we deliver lower. Could you take this change state? Maybe, but it'd be a little, in my opinion, be a little risky. Man. You know, as well as a 15-minute BPR here. And look at this, guys. Look at this, look at this. Oh, I thought that was SMT. Never mind. Just kidding. It's not SMT. But still, that was a high resistance liquidity curve. And then we go lower. Let's look at the first presented for value gap. And like I said, I don't know how long this is going to be. I kind of just want to film the video that I'm going to film later and then be done. And they probably keep it short. I might come back again later and continue back testing, but it won't be in the market recap. So wow, this is interesting example of the first presented for value gap. Very interesting example because here it is, 933 first presented for value gap, and it's just not, to me it's not obvious that we used it very well. Like, it looks like we inverse it, right? We inverse it, but then we actually reject it. Maybe we could take this as a reversal off of it. Let's go ahead and look at this, right? It's a good learning experience, right? First presented for value gap. Sweep. Yeah, man. I'm not really seeing a clear change of state. I guess technically maybe this. And then if you had stopped at the high, then theoretically this would have worked. But only if you had stopped at the high, and yeah. Let's just see if this would have worked, right? Let's say you had stop loss. So 15-second change in state, stop loss at the high off the first presented for value gap. I'm not saying I would take this because it's not obvious of a change in state, but let's just measure this out, right? Do we go to 8? Nah, bro, we don't even go to 7, dude. Like I said, I don't think that was that good, so I would not take that. Okay, because it's just not obvious that we're even respecting the first presented for value gap. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, honestly, guys, I might just go film. I kind of just want to film it. I kind of just want to get everything off my mind. Maybe we'll do a little bit more back testing. You know, this was a nice inversion. Back up, but I don't know. We ended up getting SMT here, and then delivery lower off of that, and then another SMT. A lot of SMTs. Wait, was there SMT? Yeah, there was SMT here. Okay, but this inversion for value gap was actually pretty good. Why? Why was this inversion gap? This inversion was light bulb. Look at this. This inversion was very light bulb. And I have to really have the patience to wait for light bulb inversions. Why was this inversion light bulb? Because it was very obvious that this was accumulation. And yes, I can draw accumulation like this. It's conceptualizing accumulation. It's not literal. It's never literal, right? Conceptualize what is the accumulate. Where was the majority of market participants? That's all accumulation is. Don't take it literally. Do not. accumulation. We have SMT. Might be 90-minute SMT. What would it be? So 9, 10, 30. Oh yeah. This is why this inversion was so powerful. Look. 9:55, 10:39. Right? This is 90-minute SMT. You took the inversion? Dang, dude. Clean stuff, bro. Clean stuff. This is what I mean when I say, like, market's always right. And, man, I'm very upset with how I... Once again, guys, if I'm locked in, I'm not going to do stupid stuff. But the issue is sometimes I'm not in the mindset. I'm not in the mindset. And I'm not patient. And I'm not waiting. So this is 90-minute SMT with this low. And let's actually mark it out like this. Just makes it easier on my eyes. And then we end up sweeping out this low here. Like almost like an inducement type of thing, but I'm just going to consider it manipulation. And then, yeah, this was just super obvious, guys. Super light bulb. But the issue is, can you have the patience to wait for it? Not everyone can. One thing I will say is it's not going into a macro. Macro, I guess it's 1050 is not till way later, right? But, it's still decent. Your mentorship? You have a mentorship? Oh my. But yeah, I like this. So 90-minute SMT, manipulation of this low. And then yeah, inversion. Might even be 2-minute inversion. Nope. But these are the types of trades where you just gotta, if you can just take trades like this, you're gonna be very successful in trading. AMD. AMD. Bang. Bang, 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 bang. You just printed, bro. Up to. I am student of... Oh my gosh. You're so nice, Kirk. Thank you. Right? I like this wick. Why do I like this wick? Because it's obvious. It's like a data wick. It's the 930 wick. You can kind of treat 930 wicks like data wicks because it's the same concept, right? It's a huge high volatility event. So there's going to be stop losses above it. Honestly, I would almost consider it a data wick. Like, I think you could maybe consider it data wick. So I'd honestly consider maybe taking this on Jan entry, right? So I'd probably wait a little bit of a retrace, and then bang, I'm sniping right at that volume imbalance. TP right here. If obviously if I'm perfect, which I'm not. So IPG Jan entry at the volume imbalance. That's probably what I'd do. I'm just saying what I think is best. I think that would be best, bro. If I had the patience and the discipline to do that. IPG Jan entry. Bang, bro. Bang. Just sniper trade, dude. Absolute sniper trade. So Jan entry, TP 930 wick. Alright, you kind of see what I'm getting at. IPG Jan entry. You could even mark out accumulation like this. No, I want manipulation to be a low accumulation. It just looks weird if it's not. But the only thing is, this was not a macro, so. So 1042 inversion for value gap Jan entry on the 1 minute. Pretty clean. Once again, if you can just wait for the obvious stuff like this, you're chilling. But the issue is I don't. I'm kind of stupid sometimes, bro. I'm the most stupid when I live trade. Unfortunately. Just super unfortunate. Alright, guys. I might... Hey, look at this Phoenix. This is a really obvious Phoenix model, guys. Actually, let's... Sorry, guys. I keep getting distracted with something new. This is an obvious Phoenix model. Because 1030 is the start of the new cycle. 1030... But actually, I need to do this. Yeah, so 9:30 is the start of the new cycle. No, 9 is. So 10:30. So this is the low of 9 to 10:30. This is on this asset, it's the low of 10:30 to 12. It's basically double S&T. So this rejection block is basically on steroids. This rejection block is basically on steroids because look at the signature to this rejection block as well. Like, we have to admit, this is a very obvious good Phoenix trade if we had to realize it at the time. I'm not saying we would have. It's hard to realize it, but that's why we backtest, right? So we obviously sweep out liquidity, right? We sweep out essentially this entire range here. I'm just going to mark it out like this. And so now, right? Now, this rejection block is going to be very sensitive. So we look to enter at the retest of this 1 minute rejection block. Powell Trades model, guys. Powell Trades. RB3. Or, yeah. Look at the midpoint, right? I don't even think Powell Trades knows about the midpoint stuff. I don't think he even knows it. I don't think, because he never takes it off the midpoint. I never see him do it. It's always on the top of it. Goes to show we could be taking trades that are even more powerful than Powell's own trades. Here's the issue. Where do you target? There's nowhere to target, bro. There's nowhere to target, but it's a nice little fun experiment. Maybe we could just target this old internal high here. Right, off of CE, stop loss below the low, targeting that old internal high. That's a 5 to 1. People underestimate this, right? I get a 5 to 1 off this random 1 minute rejection block, CE. That's crazy. I need to make a new name for the Phoenix model for the mini version because I don't like it. Alright, guys. I think I'm losing energy. I'm honestly just going to go film this video. And I'm just going to accept my fate of however well I film it. So, and then I'll probably come back later. 11:41 Phoenix mini 1 minute. I need a new name. Let me know if you guys think of a new name. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go film this video and then yeah, you guys will see what I'm talking about when I film it. So where's my phone at? Let's go ahead. Oh my gosh, I almost fell over. Let's go ahead and see if anyone's watching this. Two watching. Alright, guys. Let's let's just go film this video. So, all right, all right. Thanks, Kirk. I appreciate you, bro. Let's keep moving forward, and I'm never stopping. Never. You have my word, bro. I might disappear. I'm not saying I won't. There might be times where I'm like, it's just too much. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that I stay consistent through everything. But I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Ever. I promise that. I just know myself too well, bro. And I know these markets. With that, guys, I'm going to make this video. And, yeah. You guys better like it. Because, yeah. I don't know. You don't have to. If you want to. Alright. Peace out, everyone. Later. See you later.